Shalom, shalom, shalom. Just wanted to grab hold of one of these little what's topics, um, things that have been coming across. Um, you know, he's been sending out his minions in the so-called black community, and they're not getting it done. So now he's attempting to justify himself even more so than he normally does. So we're just going to play a quick video, bring out a couple of scriptures. Lord will, you be edified. you know and I want to read this one real quick. And this is matter of fact, bear with me for a moment. This is Job 9:20, and it reads, "If I justify myself, mine own mouth shall condemn me. If I say I am perfect, it shall also prove me perverse. Though I were perfect, yet would I not know my soul. I would despise my life. This is one thing, therefore I said it. He destroyeth the perfect and the wicked." So, as we get into this lesson, and we're going to begin as always in Proverbs, I wanted to bring that out just to add clarity to what's going to be said, to add understanding that Esau Edom is not going to get away with what it's done. No matter how he attempts to justify himself, to manipulate, to bring out things that make him look as though he's, innocent and that he was just trying to better everything. None of that's going to work. You know what I mean? Your slip is showing, dude. You know what I mean? Your guilt is just all over the place. Or as it anyway. So, as always, I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, the bishops, the men of great millstone. Peace and blessings to the house of David, the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and to the men, women, and children scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. I say shalom. As we begin, we like to always attempt to come to what we consider the beginning for us, which is Proverbs 9:9, and it reads, "Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning." And how is all of this made possible? The fear of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. So we wanted to bring that forth, and we're going to come down here. Now, I had this on Chrome. I want to see this. So it's uh, it's odd. When I came over here and looked it up, let me see if I can find it again. Okay. So this is Newport Institute, and it says scapegoat gaslighting is when the gaslighter deflects blame onto someone else to avoid having to take responsibility or to escape damage to their relationship, reputation, or power. At work, your boss might blame one victim for a project that failed, even though it was ultimately their responsibility. And, essentially, this is one of Esau's bestest tactics, you know, and this is, not, I mean, we know how YouTube gets down. So I'm going to, let's see. This is Nick Fuentes explains why rap music is not the reason why there's black violence. It's always been about race, and we know. See, we know it's no longer a mystery. It's no longer hidden that the ones who are in control of the music industry, the ones who run the show, the ones who do the promoting, the ones who do the essentially, the things that you don't see, all of the background, the ones who make the suggestions on what music, and not so much suggestions, but this is what they require. They put the music out that they want to be put out, and they put this destructive music out. They have Jake, who's already and always been in a state of destitute, who's been in a state of chaos, who's been in a state of confusion. They give Jake that, they dangle the carrot in front of Jake. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to hear that uplifting music. Nobody. They all want to hear. They want gangster rap. They want to hear what the ops being taken out. This, that, and the other. And we know that it's the small hats that promote this. We know that it's the small hats that require this. We know that it's Esau who insist upon this type of music. So again, you know what I mean? We understand that these devils are nothing more than just gaslighting to try to wiggle their way out of the blame that rightfully goes on their shoulders. And soon, very soon, it will. So I'm going to play this. It's about 4 minutes, 21 seconds long. And we're going to just play it in the background.
See people saying, well, the problem is that black people were made to do this by rap music. Black violence precedes rap music. It precedes the colonization of Africa in the 19th century. The idea that the elites, the media, Hollywood, the music industry, that they are to blame, that they made this student stab a white person, is not true. It is very...
And you got to ask yourself, man, how many of our people have they? It's insane how one Edomite is taken down, and yet what I mean, the whole everybody, they're all coming against this one brother. You know what I mean?
About anything ever. It's always somebody else's fault. A lot of white people listen to rap music. Does it make them kill people? No, it doesn't. There's a lot of wiggers. There's a lot of young white boys in high school and college that think it's cool or ironic, or they just like it. And they like rap music. And they like Playboy Cardi, and they like this crap. They're not stabbing people to death. Want to know why? Because they're listening to this music in their two-parent household, where the parents are working, where they pay taxes, where they cut the grass, and they're wearing a quarter zip, and they're in the family Christmas picture. They may be listening to rap music. They're not walking around with AK-47s. They're not gangbanging. Oh, you gangbang, man? They're not gang.
You know what? And honestly, this devil is just, yes, they are. And yes, they do. And he's lying his ass off. You know what I mean? And their parents are stressed out and worried out their mind because they can't understand how they gave this little demon everything, and yet he's still trying to show himself to be something other than what he is. So, yeah, once again, he's deflecting, he's lying. You know what I mean? He's doing what Esau Edom does. And he knows goddamn well, yes, they do. Yes, they do. Trying to make themselves look tough. A lot of them walking around with the bandanas in their back. You know what I mean? Yes, they do. And Kohala Yahabashim Yahushua, he's actually making it manifest on these devils. But the thing is, hey, these devils don't need a reason to murder indiscriminately. They don't need a reason to be violent. You know what I mean? This, let's get it. Let's get it. You know? But as far as this guy that we'll get that. You know what I mean? But what does the scripture say about this devil? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, let's get it in Micah. You know what I mean? Now that he's raped, robbed, slaughtered, pillaged, you know what I mean, taking advantage of the entire planet, you know what I mean? Now, you know what I mean? Now he can sit back and act as though, he what? I've done I gained this all by natural cause. This is all I did this the correct way. I didn't, but here's it, hey, this is Esau. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. Who is that? Esau Edom. You know what I mean? When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. I sound like somebody you know? You see so-called black people stealing whole nations of people. You see so-called black people stealing whole nations. You see so-called black people going all over the world taking what's not theirs. You see black people, so-called black people, dropping bombs on people, on nations all over the world. Huh? Or is it so-called black people dropping bombs on Gaza? Dropping bombs on the Houthis, all in other people's lands, dictating to them how they should conduct themselves in their land? Is that so-called black people? Because I don't think so. I don't think it is. I think we all know exactly who it is. But yet you defer. Yet you try to push your wickedness out and make it as though your wickedness is not wickedness. It's just the natural course of things, you know? Like because you can, and what's crazy is this damn Edomite who they keep showing, he looks like a goddamn demon. He looks like a fucking demon. Him and his demonic looking ass brother. And in all likelihood, they kicked it off with the so-called black man, and he yoked his ass up because these people have felt empowered since the Orange Cheetolini re-entered office. These people have felt like, this is their time again. They can now belittle, you know what I mean, do the things they want to do again. But not so much. Man, we'll start at 6. It says, this is Isaiah 59:6. Their webs shall not become garments, neither shall they cover themselves with their works. Their works are works of iniquity, and the act of violence is in their hands. Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity, wasting and destruction are in their paths. The way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. Man, hey, if you following this devil, if you doing the things that this devil does, you're on a crooked path, you know. And as far as that young man, hey, this is Genesis 4:15, and it reads, "And Yahweh said unto him, Therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And Yahweh set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him." So if you're wondering why these devils are coming down on you so aggressively, you know what I mean? When they murder indiscriminately, but you may have been defending yourself. No, Lord only knows what these devils was doing, playing some game. But hey, Cain, Esau, Edom, for now, he's protected. You know what I mean? His protection comes from on high because his judgment comes from on high. You know, I'm, you can go on here, and I listened to him already once, and these people are repulsive, man. They're repulsive, and we just look forward to the things that are moving in the earth right now, because when this devil is brought back, you know what I mean, through the loins of the elite, through the loins of those that survived the destruction of this place, through his European counterparts, and judgment is rendered unto him. Well, we'll get that same energy out of him to sit and bump his goddamn gums. You know what I mean? Him, Haman, the whole lot of them. The other fella, I can't think of his name, talking out his ass. Don't worry, your time is coming, man. Your time is coming. But in the meantime, we understand. This is Zechariah 11:4. And it reads, Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, my power, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them. Who possesses us? Esau, Edom. What do they do? You know what I mean? They kill us indiscriminately. They've created an environment and stirred the pot. It's like an unholy cauldron on how they've done what they've done and just set back. And now our people are on autopilot as far as killing each other, the whole blackness, the whole wickedness. Our man, hey, and this is because our people, they've hated the law of the Most High, and because you've man, let's get it, Salakia. I'm gonna finish that and then I'm gonna get this. Because our people have hated knowledge. But it says, and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. And truly, you know, our own shepherds. Your Al Sharptons, your Jesses, your your Malcolms, your Martins, and a whole shitload in between. They have not, you know what I mean, attempted to heal the wound, closed up, used any balm. You know what I mean? They furthered our own shepherds. They furthered, you know what I mean, the destruction of our people. You know? Yeah, you know. Let's get this real quick because hey, we've been our own worst enemy. You know, yeah, Esau, Edom, he's perpetrated, great evils upon us. But we perpetrated great evils, upon ourselves. This is Proverbs 1:29. And man, hey, this is coming again. This is we'll start at 24 because if I keep scrolling up, I'm gonna end up reading the whole thing. It says, "Because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded." And we're seeing this now more so than ever. Our people, you know what I mean? Hey, they are refusing the counsel of the Heavenly Father. They are refusing the words that they hear through the mouths of the prophets that have been set up to bring forth this good news. And why? Because they always have been on the same thing. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. You don't want to hear it. Get out of my face with that. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. So, in the times that we're seeing coming, hey, the Most High is going to use the very same ones that He used to bring forth this word to mock and scoff and laugh at your asses when the time comes and your desperation hits. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me, for that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. They would none of my counsel. They despise my reproof. Therefore shall they eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. Hey, the time is coming when you're going to pay for your insolence, when you're going to pay for your insubordination because you thought it was cute, because you thought that you were somebody, because that you thought that you were the shit in Esau Edom's land, in Esau Edom's world. Hey, because you thought that mocking and scoffing was the appropriate move instead of just shutting up and keeping it pushing. You know what I mean? If you didn't believe, fine. Shut the fuck up and keep it stepping. But nah, it was put on your spirit to mock, to scoff, to talk about, to pretend like you knew something better. Judgment is coming. Judgment is coming. Let's get this next one. And like I said, I'm not going to make this a long one. You know, yeah. So this is again, this is Lamentations 4, and I'll start at 17, and it reads, "As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us." And our people are under such a great delusion. The very people that are that are destroying you are the very ones that you're watching to save you. Instead of calling on the name that has regenerated back into the earth, you'd rather continue to call on the cheesiest. You know, it says they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. The breath of our nostrils, the anointed of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai was taken in their pits, of whom we said under his shadow we shall live among the heathens. And this is what this man. Hey, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away captive. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. You know, so hey, the things are being reversed. The roles are being reversed, but judgment is coming. The time Jacob's trouble is coming. Before these things are reversed, hey, there's going to be a great judgment on the house of Israel. And two thirds are going to succumb to that judgment. Two-thirds are going to have to pay the ultimate price. Two-thirds have been rejected because they rejected when and when the time was there for them to receive it, they shrugged the shoulder. You know what I mean? They rejected. So, you know, like I said, I didn't want to really make this a long one. So with that, as always, hey, what is your responsibility, Hebrew Israelite man? You know, because we're Hebrews and we're Israelites. There's no separating one from the other. With all the stupidity, man, our people, boy, they just always looking for that gray area, loopholes, things to get themselves out of the response. Hey, you can neither get out of the responsibility nor the judgment to come. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, and it reads, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment, whether with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil." So with that, I'm going to close by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, men of great millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, the house of David, and the men, women, and children scattered throughout the four corners of the earth of the hopeful elect. To you, I say shalom. And this dude, man, his gaslighting, his scapegoat gaslighting is really just beginning. It's going to get worse. Jacob's trouble is quickly approaching, and all of the things that are involved with that. So, with that, I'm going to say shalom.